Welcome to the first edition of Pep Talk in 2023 to 24. I'm joined by Josh Bergers, Eden Mittelsdorf. I'm Asher Lowe here with Pepperdine Athletics. Pepperdine Cross Country, you guys get to be the first edition of the pod. How special does that make you feel?
Incredibly.
I'm so excited. This is going to be awesome.
Okay, so one cross-country related question, and then we can talk about whatever the heck we want to talk about. But this one comes directly from our athletic director, Steve Potts. I was standing with him at our Pepp Invitational, our Waves Invitational, I think is the right term there, that we just had an awesome race up on PCH. And Steve was standing next to me, and it was before the race, and he was saying, I just don't get this sport. And I was like, Steve, what do you not understand about it? And he's like, at the end of this race, everybody, Josh, Eden, and everybody running is literally going to be doubled over, looking like they're about to die. It's about 30 minutes away. They know they're going to be feeling like they're going to die. They faint almost. I mean, people literally faint at the end of it. It's normal. One of the first things I heard from Amanda Kurtz, who works in our office, is she's like, we were going into our first cross-country event last year because we don't host that many. And she's like, don't be alarmed when everybody kind of collapses at the end. It's very normal. And Steve's like, they know they're about to do that to themselves. Why do they do it? So why do you do that? Knowing you're about to
go first.
You want to go first?
Yeah, you go.
All right. So for me personally, I think you have to be slightly psychotic to this sport. You have to be a little mentally out there. You have a little colorful personality, kind of like identity, kind of, I think, because you're not normal if you do this sport. You're just not. You're just cream of the crop. Like, because clearly we're doing this. Like, we know we're doing this for ourselves, and I'm one of the weird ones where I anticipate and actively enjoy this. Like, I look forward to like putting myself through the mental and physical hell that is our sport.
That's a good answer. For me, I feel like I always think about the feeling like after I finish the race. So like, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's so incredible. And I feel like just looking to that makes me want to even get on the starting line in the first place, because it is mentally taxing and hard. And like, as long as you have like a solid team like we have, I mean, we have such a solid team of girls and guys like around us, supporting us, and just being on there and the energy that you get, it's like adrenaline, like everything's coming together. And then at the end of the race, after you finish, like no matter how good or bad you do, I feel like just finishing is like such an incredible feeling. Yeah. So that's why I get on the starting line.
Can I add something to that? Yeah, like shout out to our team. I love you guys. Like that's part of one of the reasons why I think we're able to race as well as we race and run as well as we do, is because without the support of our teammates, like boys and girls, whenever they're not racing, we're always on the sidelines cheering each other on, like, you got this. Like, it's so encouraging to see your teammates, like, running through, working through, because you know they're going through the same hell that you're going through, and you watch them do it, and hearing them from the sidelines on both ends, it's like, it's so empowering to hear that.
Yes.
From the outside looking in, it's also pretty collaborative, I feel like, between teams, because we always have a bunch of different schools at races, 5, 6 schools. I don't feel like anybody's hating on like the LMU runners, or like nobody's jeering them. It kind of feels like the same camaraderie, even if it's not a teammate. I mean, obviously it's different with Pepperdine runners, but I feel like you guys have that camaraderie as just runners in general, let alone just Pepperdine runners.
Yeah, I mean, I think running is such a special sport, so whether we're trying to beat a team or trying to destroy just like a certain like group of people inside a race, I feel like we're all kind of secretly like cheering each other on. Like I feel like last conference race like a year ago, I remember there was this other girl, her name was Eden too, but she was on Pacific's team, and we were trying to beat them. But
so the worst Eden.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And we were trying to beat them, and I just remember like she was like struggling, and I was like, I so get how you feel, but we got to finish this. And we were like high-fiving each other in the race and like pushing each other along. So I feel like that energy is something really special that you don't really see like in another sport, especially like just with running. So.
Oh yeah, I haven't met a bad cross-country runner or cross-country runner with like a bad personality yet. I find that very hard to believe in general. I know how outlandish that seems, but I have yet to find like the kind of like individual you might find in other sports teams. I've played all hosts of sports ranging from like literally like baseball, tennis, basketball, skiing. I think the only 2 sports I didn't do in New England were football and hockey, because, well, you get the idea. Anyways, like I haven't, after playing all those sports, when I came to running, everyone was so inviting. Like they were literally just so loving, because we all know the pain we're going through, and yet we willingly choose to do it. So it's kind of like a shared like, a shared pain that we're all like, yes, this is hard, but yes, we love what we do. And so we bond over that.
Is it running cross country that makes you insane, or are you like nuts to get into cross country? Because you mentioned you have to be a little insane to do this, and I definitely can see that from the outside looking at you.
You do. I think it's definitely a little bit of both. Like, you get in there, you kind of have the seed of like, is this really right for me? And then that seed grows once you find the right community, and then it's like the full tree of someone looking in is like, why do you have so many running shoes? Why do you only wear running clothes? It's a lifestyle. Why do you run in short shorts with colorful colors? Trust me, if you do it once, you'll understand. There is a very big reason why you see us running around in like banana short shorts or like donuts. There is a reason.
I love that. I mean, just to add on, I feel like the community is really special, and like, I don't know, everyone just has a certain like mentality and like hardworking, like, I don't know, like personality. I feel like you really do like have to be insane, but like in a good way, you know? I feel like, yeah, you have to have that hardworking mentality in order to be able to understand and get into the sport. So
I wouldn't really say insane. That was probably a poor choice of words on my part. What I'd more say is like,
you said mentally chat. You use some other phrase. We won't go back to it, but yeah.
My point is that like looking in, that's how we appear. But like, it's just a different way. It's just a different perspective. Like, you really have to be a hardworking individual. Like, it's going into it, you really do kind of change. Because like at first it starts out as friends, as you know, good people you run with. Eventually, towards the end of this is how I very strongly feel. Like, they're my family. Like, everyone on the team is my family.
You're sharing your pain with them. So I think that that's something special that, I don't know, like everyone says like, my sport is your sport's punishment, like with running. I have a shirt that says that. And I feel like that like is funny, but it's so true, because what we do is so incredibly niche to like any type of sport. So I feel like you do have to have a special crew of people to do that with. So yeah.
I think we just got our title. My sport is your sport's punishment. That's our episode 1 title right there.
Perfect.
I love that.
Is there anything that gives you, because even you're saying that when you're finishing a race, you just feel this crazy level of accomplishment. Is there anything else in life that can compare to that, or is that what made you fall in love with this sport, that nothing compares?
Yeah, I mean, I've also tried a variation of sports. I was a competitive swimmer for 9 years before I started running. So kind of doing that and just going back and forth in a pool, I was just so bored. And so being able to run and like go everywhere. I'm someone who likes change. I know that's not a popular opinion for a lot of people, but I constantly like change. I feel like it fuels me to be a better person and like grow. And so with running, trying different terrains, new courses, like the mystery of it is so interesting. And so that feeling that I get after finishing a race was something so unique to everything that I had ever done before. And so I think that's what really drew me to running, along with the camaraderie. But yeah, that unique feeling is something super special. So yeah.
Does anything compare to it for you?
For me, I don't know if I should out myself like this, but for me, a very similar feeling is driving or driving off road. Like, I love UTVing, I love side by side.
That's awesome.
Like I did that. I actually took some of the team out with me last year. We went to Ocotillo Wells. Caused a bit of damage to them. I'm never gonna be able to financially recover from that, but it's fine. But it was so much fun. We like the thrill of going like 80 miles an hour over sand dunes and over jumps and over crazy obstacles and like rock crawling. Like, that's the same kind of experience I get when I myself am physically doing that. Like, going over crazy terrain, like running through trees, running through swarms of people out on a trail. Like, that's the kind of stuff I love.
Taking the sport part out of it, how would you describe the team's vibe, the energy of the Pepperdine Cross Country team?
Family. Like, we literally do like almost everything together, I feel like. I mean, yes, we do like other things with like people that aren't necessarily on the team, but I feel like each and every one of us has each other's backs.
Just kind of adding on to that, on the girls' side, I feel like it's a little different. I feel like we can be such a close family, but also every girl has like so much that they're doing and so much that they're able to be involved in here at Pepperdine. I know for myself, like, I'm in a sorority here at Pepperdine. I'm on the Waves Leadership Council. I'm also the captain of the team. So it's like all of these different things that I'm able to be involved in, I think is something really special that Pepperdine has offered, and something special with our team. Because I don't know, I look at every other team and like, you know, every team is like very close and like kind of doing their own thing, but like with the cross country team, like girls, I feel like they just have so many different groups of friends and groups of people that they're able to like connect with and be a part of. So I think that's something really special that we have.
No,
So,
yeah, I agree with that for the boys. I'm not necessarily I'm not necessarily like that myself. Like I mean, I'm an outgoing person, but I know for a fact that when I walk up to say like Spencer, for example, or Nate or Lurch, I'll just see them talking to like whoever, and I'll be like, how do they know them? Like I'm just like
everyone's
cool.
friends with everyone.
Yeah,
I feel like that's
like outside of the team too. It's just saying at this school they're all involved. Yeah.
I feel like everyone's like very involved, which is something cool. Because I mean, our sport, like, yes, we have to train like every day, 6:30 a.m. Like, but we're not sitting and watching film and doing all the extra other stuff. Because I mean, that's just not part of what we do. So I feel like that extra time kind of goes to putting ourselves into doing other things that Pepperdine has to offer. So I think that that's really cool. Yeah.
Another thing I noticed about cross country, just from the outside looking in, based on other teams at this school, or just really teams in general at high schools or at colleges, haven't been around them, is I feel like with other sports, and I won't like name names or get into the exact stereotypes here, but I feel like I can kind of put athletes into a box a lot of the time of like, you play that sport because you look like this, you know, you act like this, you talk like this. This is like the idea of what I think of as this kind of athlete. Cross country, I don't know if I can put you guys in like boxes. Like you guys are just all different. I don't know. Everyone I talk to has a lot of different layers and sides to them. Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah,
I totally agree. You can go.
We come from all ranges of life and other things like that. Like we have some really tall people on the team. Then there's me, a staggering 5'5", rar. Anyways, you know, like it's that kind of stuff.
Player,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know, Northeast hockey player.
Built to be a hockey player.
Exactly. But no, I know what you're saying, and I completely agree. It's like a massive melting pot. Like just everyone from every walks of life runs.
Yeah.
And that's our team. And I do agree with you. There is definitely some stereotypes that you could probably name without saying names, but you can't really. I feel like you can't apply that to our sport.
And even like height, you said like not much just talking about like the way people act, but basketball players are tall. Like they're all tall.
And we have some like 6'2", 6'3" guys on the team.
We have some tall guys, some tall girls.
Yeah, it's fun looking up at them.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, you really can't put us in a box. I feel like our sport is kind of, after you try every other sport, you just kind of come to it and you just do it. And if you're good at it, then you keep doing it. But yeah, I mean, I feel like everyone's kind of unique in that way, which is what makes us special, which is kind of cool. So
yeah, I love that about our sport.
Yeah.
What do you love about Pepperdine? Being a way of not on the track or on the field, but just this school.
What could I not love about Pepperdine? Sorry, I love this question so much. I feel like just kind of going through the college process of being an athlete and figuring out where I wanted to go, Pepperdine just checked all the boxes just because you're able to be involved in so much but also be a student athlete, which is what I kind of mentioned before. I love the class sizes. I love how personalized everything feels. I don't feel like I'm just a number on a piece of paper kind of being put into a system and, oh, you're going to do this and this and this. I feel like I'm really valued here as an individual, and I think that just kind of goes without saying. Like, the athletic staff here is so amazing, as well as all the professors. And I don't know, everyone always says, like, the student body of Pepperdine, like, everyone's just so nice, and, like, I feel like everyone says that, but it really is, like, so true. Everyone, like, wants to know everyone, and everyone, like, kind of has a common goal and is so driven, and I don't know, I just think that's something really special about Pepperdine that you really can't find at any other school, so. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, you summed that up perfectly. I mean, like, what else am I gonna say? Great, thanks. No, but I mean, I do completely agree with that. Pepperdine, like, I don't feel like I'm just a number on another piece of paper. Like, the classrooms are very well organized. Like, the classes you're in, yes, some of them are large. They're you know, they're Elkins is, you know, it's a kind of lecture kind of class. Mm-hmm. But then the smaller ones you get into, like the more personal ones where you expect them to be personal, all the teachers want to know you. They want you to succeed. They want you to do well. So, you know, like, if you're struggling, you can very easily go to them during office hours, and they want to help you. It's not like where it's like, oh yeah, I don't really kind of necessarily care about you in some of the larger kind of like colleges. Like, Pepperdine really does feel very close knit. And I love that. I don't feel like I'm a number.
Yeah, like, for example, I feel like I can walk into Payson Library and, like, just hang out with whoever I want to hang out with.
I felt
Which
that.
is, like, at a big state school, you walk into the library, you're, like, doing homework, and, like, that's not really a hangout space, but
no,
I feel like it can be, like, a homework place and a hangout place.
Because look at there's, like, what, 50 stories, and it's, like, everywhere, and you're just like, okay, cool. Overwhelmed. Here it's like, you know, it's like warm hearth with a nice fire going, and you're just like, I can do work here. This is doable. This is manageable. This is lovely.
Oh, yeah. beach view. Awesome.
Oh yeah, can't forget that.
Oh man.
Last question of our first episode. Thank you guys so much for being our first guest on the Pep Talk podcast this year. Last question for each of you. What has been the most rewarding experience? It can be a cross-country experience. It can be an academic experience so far during your time here as a Wave. What's the one moment experience you go back to that sticks with you?
Oh gosh.
No, I did not tell them this beforehand, so they are coming up with this live.
I can go first if you want.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so last year we had our first meet that we've had on alumni in I think 20 years, maybe 15 years. And we all kind of got on that starting line as a team on our home course, and that was probably the most special feeling in the world, being able to be here at Pepperdine and race on our home course, and also be with such a great group of women, and we won that meet, by the way, as the women. But I just think getting on that starting line and feeling the energy and feeling just how at home we were was just something that I always go back to and think of throughout my college experience. So yeah.
For me, I'd have to say it was regionals of last year when we went to, was it Washington?
Yeah.
Yeah, Washington. We went to Washington. I had recently been put in a boot for reasons that someone walked in front of me on the track. Don't know who they are. Still looking for them. But I ended up going to the regionals anyways. Took my boot off on the line. We'll never forget that feeling. Took my boot off on the line, put my spikes on, ran my 10K. I was in the worst pain of my life, but still, ran the race anyways. Get to the last half mile. I'm clearly hitting a wall. I see Jonathan come up past me, our captain, and I'm captain this year. I'm please, just I'm begging him, top of my lungs. He can see the pain in my eyes. He can see the desperation, and I'm just begging him to go catch Willard, who was front running the group. And I was please, Jonathan, please catch him. Begging him from the bottom of my soul. He told me after the race he'd never felt more motivated in his life, and I was I don't care if I'm dying. I'm glad I at least motivated someone else to do even better. That was probably the best part of
awesome.
my freshman year and of probably of college, honestly.
That is the perfect way to close it out. That was beautiful. I love it. Josh Bergers, Eden Mittelsdorf, first episode of Pep Talk 2023-24. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you for having us.